Funding for the production of Folks is made possible in part by a grant from Union National Life Insurance, serving Louisiana and the South since 1926, a family-managed corporation providing whole life insurance.
Coming up on Folks, we'll meet Juliet Jackson, a librarian, and Beverly Roberts, an administrative assistant. These women have returned to work after retirement through the Senior Employment Program. Then we'll talk to Elliott Guillory, an artist who is out to make a big impression on the art world. We'll also hear music in the big band style from the Southern University Collegians, all on today's edition of Folks. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Folks. I'm Sonya Masingale. We're continuing to bring you some of the past season's highlights. This week, we begin our program with a report about two energetic senior women who have returned to the workforce after retirement. They represent some of the growing numbers of senior citizens who are returning to work out of financial need or just to fill the long days of retirement. This is becoming much more popular thanks to the efforts of the Senior Employment Program. Juliet Jackson listens to the radio on the way to work every morning. In fact, she first heard about the Senior Employment Program on the radio. She had retired from 28 years as a laboratory aide at a medical lab and found herself with lots of energy and time to spare. Her new job is that of librarian at the Institute of Early Learning.
I was listening to the radio, and they said they needed senior citizens in the workforce, and that at the Catholic Life Center was a place that you could go and get more information about it. And so I applied, and they told me there that they needed someone to work in the library on 16th Street. And that's how I came to apply.
Juliet found it easy to transfer the skills she had gained as a laboratory aide to her new job as librarian. She devised her own method of organization for the children's books and games and teaching aids.
I've always been interested in a number of things. And I like to read. And library just fascinating. I think my experiences in the lab helped that, because I worked partly in the stockroom where I sorted chemicals and put them on the shelf according to the tests that the chemicals were used for. For instance, if it was a blood sugar test, I put all the chemicals that were used in that test together, and then I sorted the glassware that the technologists used for the different tests.
Her college education in liberal arts has served Juliet well in the development of teaching aids, and she hopes to keep on working. She has been at this job for 3 years. How much longer do you think you'll work in this program?
As long as I'm allowed to. I'm in good health, and I expect to live a long life.
A full 8-hour workday was not enough to keep her busy. Juliet's evening hours are as full as her days.
I'm always wanting to learn new things. My next thing, I think, will be learning computer. And when I leave here in the afternoons, I teach music classes, piano classes. And I'm always thinking of new games to play with the smaller children, to make them interested in their music. And so I keep busy, and when you keep busy, you don't think about yourself.
Through several years of participating with the CETA program, we knew that at the end or the termination of the CETA program, it did spin off into another concept, and that was the Job Training Partnership Act. And we were also aware that through the Job Training Partnership Act, there was an area for young adults, there was an area for the middle age, and there was also a senior citizen component. And through CETA, I had worked with Sara before. So when it changed from CETA to the Job Training Partnership Act, then we just continued our relationship.
This is Carolyn Benjamin, Executive Director of the Institute of Early Learning. After finding several employees through the Senior Employment Program, she has become an advocate for the older employee.
Well, how has the arrangement worked out for you so far?
Fantastic. The attitude of an older worker is a very positive one. For the first time, that person sees and experiences things that we take for granted. They look at it, at life in particular, from a different perspective, and especially with children. They remember, they relate, they see their children growing up, they see their grandchildren growing up, and they get an opportunity to say some of the things that they've never been able to say to their children or grandchildren, but they can express them to the younger children here.
Just what kind of employee did you get?
I got a gift. She's a gift. I mean, I think that in her coming to our program, we may have needed a worker, but what we received was someone who reinstated quality to our personal lives. Juliet is a dependable person. She's an honest person. I mean, if she is ill, she will say to you, I am ill. I did not come to work because I was ill. If she's going to be absent for any reason, she will not substitute sick leave for annual leave or anything. I mean, the qualities are just unreal. I mean, she is just a jewel. Positive personality.
Has working with the people from the Senior Employment Program changed your outlook on old age?
I think it's changed my concept that old age is not necessarily old age. Within the last 5 years, I worked with my parents, realizing that they were going into retirement. A retirement is a state of mind that a person will either enjoy or regret. And I did not want that to happen to my parents. So I got them involved in the daycare program, and now they own their own daycare program. So the concept is that you are only as old as you want to be, or that you accept, or that you allow people to relate to you. And in Juliet's case, she came back to me to say, you know, accept me for what I am, accept my strengths, accept my weakness, and I will be faithful to you as an employee. And I've accepted that. I accept her just for what she is, and that's a gorgeous person, that's all.
Juliet has words of encouragement for other retirees who are able and interested in going back to work.
It's a good thing to do. It's interesting. I think we get old according to our lack of interest. I think if you are interested and you're open to learn, I think you have better health. If your mental health, I think, helps your physical health.
This is Beverly Roberts. She also found the beginnings of a second career through the Senior Employment Program. She has become one of the indispensable staffers right here at Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Although she is not technically a senior citizen, Beverly still encountered some pretty strong age prejudice when attempting to return to the traditional workplace.
I went around to a lot of the employment agencies, and I realized that they didn't want to hire me, because I was older. So I went to the government and to apply there, and I filled out papers, went back 2 or 3 times, and I came home really discouraged, and I said, well, I guess I just won't be able to find any work. And so that night I said a few prayers, and then the next morning I picked up a folder that I'd gotten at the government building, and there's where it said to call Senior Employment Agency, and I telephoned, and she was excited to talk to me, and I was doubly excited to be able to go down for an interview, and I was working within 10 days.
After 10 years of retirement from the banking industry, Beverly found that she would have to return to work for financial reasons, but she wasn't prepared for the emotions that the job search would stir up.
I was nervous, but I felt inadequate, and that's not the way I usually feel. But when you go out and apply for jobs and you can see the look in their eye, then you realize that you are fighting your age. And I may be 55, but my father is 85 years old, and he plays golf and bowled a 240 game. And we're still capable of working and really want to work, more so than the younger people, I think.
How has it changed you? You said before that you felt like your self-worth was slipping because
I feel much better now. I've lost quite a bit of weight, and I just am a lot happier, and I feel now like I'm needed.
So what do you have to say about the old myth of older people not being able to learn new things?
I don't think we're set in our ways. It might take us a little bit longer, but I think that in the long run, we try harder, and we don't give up as easily.
We're fortunate in that we have a number of volunteers who work as receptionists and who work in literally every aspect of our operation. So when I first heard from a friend of mine who is head of a statewide nonprofit organization, the Hemophilia Foundation, that there was a program that provided opportunities for older people to have a job and also paid for the services of these older people for a nonprofit, I was thrilled because I thought, what a wonderful opportunity for Louisiana Public Broadcasting, and I also thought it would be a wonderful opportunity for the right person because this is a nice place to work and there are a variety of things that this person could do. And so at that point I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity for both of us, and then we pursued it from there.
The Senior Employment Program operates in a modest suite of offices at the Catholic Life Center in Baton Rouge. The people who work here believe strongly in what they advocate. Workers of all ages work companionably and efficiently together. Frequent meetings between the job counselors and the executive director keep the 3-part program active and effective.
Jack, what kind of jobs do we have coming in from businesses right now? Specific types of businesses and job orders?
Job orders, right. And of course, we're getting a lot of these signed into contracts.
Jack Torres works as an employment counselor for the program. His job is to match the most qualified applicants with available jobs. Sometimes he has more jobs than people to fill them.
We're called employment counselors. Our job is to take applications as the people come in, and through mail-outs, people come into the office. We take their applications. Then we get job orders from employers, again from mail-out or from publicity like we're getting today. We try to match the two together. In other words, an employer says he wants a particular type of person, okay? So then we go through our files and we try to find someone that will match him. We screen. The employer does no paperwork. We do all the screening. We send him maybe 2, 3, 4 qualified applicants. He chooses and he hires them.
Although employers are enthusiastic about hiring older workers through the Senior Employment Program, they sometimes have to be convinced that an older, more experienced worker warrants a higher salary than a beginner.
Therein lies the problem, particularly in Baton Rouge. The Baton Rouge area, maybe all over the state of Louisiana, is that this is an employer's market right now. Employers will call and they will offer $3.35 or the minimum wage. What we try to do is, well, we explain to them, look, if you want $3.35, you're going to get a $3.35 person. Let's try and up that salary to give this person some incentive you see, to do better and so forth. So we try to get them up to $455, and it works.
Juliet and Beverly are just two of the many successful older workers helped by the Senior Employment Program. It covers a 12-parish area and has over 3,500 placements at the time of this broadcast. The numbers are increasing. But it's not just jobs that are making the program work. It's people.
I guess the best part of my job is helping people, yes.
Now, most producers will go to great lengths to get an interesting story, but I found myself rising to new heights to talk to billboard painter Elliott Guillory, who paints his own canvases as well. Most likely you've seen Elliott Guillory's work, even if you don't recognize his name. He's one of those talented few at Lamar Advertising who paint those magnificent billboards you see all over town. There is a serious side to this artist as well. He has created original paintings and sculptures which show a talent far beyond his 27 years. Now, interviewing this artist required some ingenuity on our part. Luckily, I'm not afraid of heights.
When I was a little kid, I always wanted to be the greatest artist in the world. I'm still trying. But I try to be very versatile, you know, as far as sculptures, portraits, signs. Try to pick up different techniques because, I mean, you know, to me, to be real great, you have to do a lot of studying and research. And so, I mean, right now, I'm not number one. I look at myself as being number two, so I have somewhere to go. So I'm still striving to perfect myself.
Was your family supportive of your decision to draw and paint?
Yes, very much so. You know, I have my mother, she's my biggest critic. My brother, he's also my critic also. He's very influential, and he pushes me a whole lot. Basically, I like to compete against him because he's my big brother, and he's you know, outstanding to me. One of my favorite people.
It's been said that artists must suffer for their work. Do you feel that that's true?
In some cases. Usually, a lot of times we have a tendency to give away certain things just to get a reputation or sort of, in other words, do a better job than what the money pays for. So, in that sense, yeah. Well, most of them, they become famous after they're dead. You know, I can't wait that long, so I'm trying to do it while I'm alive.
Have you suffered for your creative expression?
Maybe, because of the fact that I'm 27 and I'm not married yet, so maybe that has something to do with it. Because, you know, my career in art, to be an artist, especially in Louisiana, it's not really easy. So you have to produce more and, you know, stay in a lot instead of going out and having fun. So, in that sense, yeah. So, I'm dedicated, real dedicated. In fact, I go to sleep thinking art, wake up thinking art. So it's in my blood.
Guillory comes from a talented family. He painted this copy of an old painting on a dare from his older brother, an architect.
My mother influenced me the most as an artist because of the fact that when I was a little kid, I told her I wanted to be the greatest artist in the world. And I love her for that because she told me I could be. And all I have to do is just strive for it. So I'm on my way.
Where do you get the inspiration for your original pieces?
Basically, life as it is. I like people in general. I do a lot of portraits because people like to be remembered, and I like to do them to where they would like to be remembered. Research and just being sensitive towards life in general. I enjoy just about everything, but I'm a realistic artist, so it has to be something that deals with a lot of character. And it has to be very hard to do because that's where I get most of my drive from, doing things that other people can't do. So then I just put on my armor and attack it.
What do you want people to get from viewing your paintings and sculptures?
I want them to be sensitive to life as I am, you know, become very caring. Some pictures that I've done were of poverty, and so when I project this image, I want a person to feel it also, be in that environment, and just, you know, become a more caring person also. And if I paint a happy picture, I want them to feel the joy, you know, just express, you know, life as it really is.
Have you ever had a creative dry spell?
Not too much. Right now, I'm conditioned to force myself to create certain things. Usually, I just close my eyes and start visualizing different things, and I like competition, so I don't really have a dry spell at all, because I'm constantly moving and doing something, you know. And if it's not related to art, I love working, so I kind of keep things flowing.
From art to dance music. About a year ago, Rob Hitton produced a special program with the Southern University Collegians under the direction of Isaac Greggs. We'd like to share some of that music with you again today. So here are the Collegians with a group of young ladies who call themselves A Touch of Elegance.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. Wipe off the clouds and cheer up, put on a happy face. Take off the gloomy mask of tragedy, it's not your style. You look so good and you'll be glad you decided to smile. On a pleasant outlook, stick out that noble chin. Wipe off the full of that look, slap on a happy face. Spread sunshine all over the lake. Just put on a happy fire, the fire. Put on a happy face. Sky's gonna clear up, put on a happy face. Up and cheer up, put on a happy face. A gloomy mask of tragedy is not your style. Good and you'll be glad you decided to smile. Take on a pleasant outlook, stick out a noble chin. Wipe out that full of talent, slap on a happy face. Spread sunshine all over the place. Just put on a happy fire, fire. Put on a happy face. Let our efforts be as determined as theirs of a little stream that sanders down the hillside, seeking its level, only to become a huge river, destined to the sea. Yes, there.
Program. Please join us next week for another edition of Folks. Bye-bye.
The world is still the same, and you never change it. Never changing. Sure as stars shine above. You know till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. I am nobody till somebody loves you. And I say you're nobody till somebody cares. Oh, you may be king, you may possess the world and all its own. Go on, bring your happiness when you're lonely. The world is still the same, and you never change. Never changing. Sure, and so shine above. Nobody, 'cause somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love.
Funding for the production of Folks is made possible in part by a grant from Union National Life Insurance, serving Louisiana and the South since 1926, a family-managed corporation providing whole life insurance.